back into Vergil here. Oh, what is happening on my TV? Huh. I don't know if it's still live right now. So it's like showing me an ad for Metro Exodus. I'm not even a partner, why is it showing an ad? Oh well. I don't think I get any of the revenue from that. I think they're just advert. Yeah, how did that get through? Because I don't know. That's confusing. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick sound test at the beginning of here, because in the last one the game audio was a little too loud, so I'm just going to talk and then do a couple moves, and then I'll listen to it, see how it sounds. Okay, that seems fine. Yeah, for whatever reason, game audio is just, it's incredibly loud right off the bat. So it's one thing you'll notice if you do YouTube or anything like that, game audio is always like, you have to subtract it by like 20 dBs, because it can be incredibly loud. Yeah, I'll probably knock it down another 10. If it does, okay, let's try this again. Okay, seems to be a little bit easier level here. Yeah, audio is always crazy. These games are at like peak volume. Actually, let me test my theory here. Check for that item over there. Oh, there actually is one over here. But maybe I've always had the full inventory when I got to this part. Yeah, 'cause I'm pretty positive that the items carry over on difficulty settings, but not through characters, which is odd. If you play through with Dante on Dante Must Die, and then you switch over to Vergil, I think the items will still be gone. Oh, you know what? I hope I don't have turbo still turned on. So I turned it on for the Bloody Palace. Okay, let's see. Okay, turbo is on. That is not good. Not very good on turbo mode. Actually doesn't even really look that much different. Yeah, this kind of looks like the normal gameplay speed. Maybe it doesn't change that much.
Show me your motivation.
Yeah, because I think it changes by like 20%, which is kind of hard to tell anyway. Yeah, these guys are always a pain in the ass. Especially on Dante Must Die, because they shield like that too. So not only do they have these little spores that attack you, then they shield on top of that. Normally you use guns to break it, but Vergil doesn't have any guns. There we go, finally broke. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell when it breaks. You'll see like a little puff of smoke. But it doesn't look much different from, yeah, like right there, it just happened. It doesn't look much different from just the normal puffs of smoke that come off, so you have to really pay attention. Yeah, like right there. But yeah. Yeah. Will you stop guarding? There we go. Yeah, these are always kind of difficult with Vergil. Sure, with some people it's easier, but I don't know very many combos with Vergil. And realistically, he doesn't really have that many to begin with. Sort of a straightforward... Okay, I just needed an A rank anyway. Yeah, he's sort of just a straightforward character. Doesn't really have that many crazy combos. It's kind of like on the level... Not as basic, but close to Trish. Certainly not like Dante, where he has like 3 guns and 3 swords. And then 4 styles. 5 if you include Dark Slayer. Yeah, I can tell it's turbo on that part there. 'Cause they actually do come across a little quicker. I don't like that. I'm gonna turn that off. You can't turn it off during the mission though, which is kind of unfortunate. But luckily, this mission's not that hard. I think it does include the boss fight, so that'll be a little difficult. Yeah, it's only a 20% difference, so it's not massive. But it's enough to matter for sure. And these are kind of annoying as Vergil, because with Nero, you can just pull them closer to you when they fall. Oh, nope, nope. Oh, come on. Yeah, there's another... See, I keep trying to double jump as Vergil, but obviously he doesn't have a double jump, so it doesn't work. I'm just gonna blast him. Nope, nope. Keep those spinning swords away from me. Yeah, that's a good way to put some quick damage on them. Oop. Oh, damn. Warp doesn't work at that elevation. Need to figure out how I'm doing that, that rain that I did previously. Yeah, that one there. How the hell do you... You know, I'm thinking it has to do with the rapid slash here. Nope, that's not how. Okay. So I was thinking maybe rapid slash and then you hold down X, but that clearly didn't work there. They just brought in the summoned swords. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go into the settings here. Keep forgetting how to do that. Should be under Yamato. Oh no, it'd be under summoned swords. Heavy rain. Okay, back to forward, and then X. Back to forward on X. See, that doesn't seem right, because that's not what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's... Okay, I don't get it at all then. Oh, let's try this again. Yeah, it's really annoying. As I was about to say before I got knocked off the platform, with Nero at least, when you knock their cloak away, you can just pull them forward with the Devil Bringer. But with Vergil, not so much. So basically they'll just fall down like that, and if they fall over the edge, then they get hit by the... Oh no, come on. Alright, there we go. Yeah, see, it's hard with the warping ability, because you can only teleport towards them, and if they're hanging over the edge, then you just fall right off, like that right there. Oh man, that's frustrating. Not to fight these little losers again. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, let's try that again. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so it... Alright, whoa, what the hell? I just got really damaged there. Man, Devil Trigger heals, like, incredibly slow. Just do a medium. Okay, so I guess it is, like... Yeah, maybe I've just been hitting the key on accident like that. I definitely don't remember doing it. You do Judgment Cut already? There we go. Maybe that's a way to fight them. Oh my god. Stop with that. Tried doing Rapid Slash through them, but they're too quick. Yeah. Just saw your little puff of smoke there. You're not safe anymore. Yeah, characters like this are just annoying to fight. Hopefully nothing in DMC5 is like that. Alright, third time. Yeah, see, it's just sections like this that just make Vergil so annoying to play. It's sections that with Nero, they wouldn't be that difficult, but with Vergil, they are very... Oh my god, I can't hold my ground for the life of me. Okay, it changes up the enemies I fight here, I guess. I just skip this whole section. It makes it worse because on Turbo I don't have the timing down because I don't play Turbo. I only turned it on for the Bloody Palace achievement, which I didn't even get because I got all the way to the end of the Bloody Palace and then I died on, I think, the 90th floor. That's always fun. Yeah, Bloody Palace, I don't know how anyone does that without the super characters. I guess I'll figure out if I ever try through with Lady and Trish, because they don't have a super variant. But man, that mode is just incredibly difficult. Even with the super characters, once you get to like the 90th floor, that thing is impossible. Whoop. Dodge that. See, they're annoying enough to fight like this, but when you're having to fight them on the platform, it's so frustrating. And there's no, like, quick way to just burst them down. If I were to dash up there and use, like, Beowulf or something, then I would just be hanging over the edge, and that's not safe. You know what? I'll try to do it like this. Oh my god, they almost got me there, too. Come on. I think it's just these two, so if I can kill them quickly, maybe I won't have to deal with them anymore. Oh, nope. Oh my god. Platforms disappear so quickly on Turbo. Come on, die already. I'm just gonna spam it, I don't care. Style ranking doesn't matter if I'm dead. Alright, which one? This one here. Yeah, with Nero I would just jump straight across, but I don't trust any way of doing that with him. Because you can just double jump and do the, what do you call it? It's like, I think it's roulette spin or something. No, it's not roulette spin. Something like that. It's not, it's like the shuffle, but it happens in the air. Maybe it's just called air shuffle. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Whoop. See if there's any health in these. Nope, doesn't seem to be. Alright, bring it on. As long as I'm not fighting on the platform, I'm good. Try to kill these guys quickly before the parasites get in here. Ooh. Nope, don't do it. See him getting ready to charge. If you get them out of these guys, they usually drop health. Yeah. Pretty sure you fight Blitzen here on Dante Must Die. Alright. Should be all of the normal enemies. Seems like it's just these little parasite dudes left. Little worm creatures. Oop. Well, luckily I'm almost done with this level. I'm gonna get some easy kills here. Oh, don't do it. See them trying to go for it. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, these sections were just, they were always annoying as a kid. As I mentioned previously, I did not know how to spin these up. I was just knocking them around with the Buster Arm. So I think that's what it said in the instructions. It was like, yeah, use the Buster Arm to move these around the map. But I don't think it tells you how to speed it up. So I just had to kind of figure that out on my own. It was very slow. It's a very tedious process. Speaking of tedious. See, I like the scenes like this because in the special edition for DMC3, a lot of these scenes were just complete skips. And then you don't get any kind of cinematic with Vergil in it. So these at least have his character model interacting with the cutscenes. Although canonically, oh god, right off the bat. Oh my god, were you? Oh, it's Turbo, that's right. I forgot. I was like, why is it happening so quickly? Yeah, I can't wait to turn this off. Yeah, it at least makes it look better when you have the cutscenes play out. So even though it's not canon, it's still... Actually, I think the first part of the game is canon, where they show that he does visit Fortuna. Because it does say that it happens like a decade or a few decades before. Raises the question of how old this guy is. I know Dante and Vergil are not that young, but that seems like a little too long ago. So yeah, I think the opening is canon, and then the ending cutscene are canon as well. Because it does show that the Savior statue is still being built. So, very well could be. And I would imagine those events take place before the events of... It takes place before the events of DMC 3. That's... He's still pretty young at that point. And he does look slightly older in this game. I don't know if that's just because the graphics are better, but... If it is just young Vergil, then that would kind of make sense too. Because it definitely can't be Vergil after DMC 3. It's a bit of an issue after that. So DMC 3 goes pretty much straight into DMC 1. Maybe a couple years difference. Yeah, Vergil's already very much corrupted by that point. Which definitely does raise the... I don't want to talk too much about the DMC trailer. I usually like to avoid trailers to avoid spoilers, but with DMC I was like, I need to know everything about this game before picking it up. That's one of those things, if people are trying to avoid the trailers, I don't want to dive straight into it and be like, oh, this happens, these characters were revealed. Yeah, because I have a lot of theories. Probably save those for the DMC 5 stream. I will absolutely be playing that game. Although I don't know if I want to play through the initial run and stream it, or if I want to play through by myself and then stream it later. So I'm definitely going to stream it at some point. But I don't know which one to start with. I don't know if it'd kind of soil the experience to do it while streaming. Although it's actually not that difficult. It's not... The only difference is I have to turn like 2 of my fans off in my room, so there's a little bit of heat from that. But aside from that, the experience is not much difference. Oop. Nope. Oh my god, the turbo mode. It's only 20%, but man, does it make a difference. Especially on Dante Must Die, I don't want to have turbo mode active. Oop. Get away. Oop, oop. I almost got free. Yeah, this boss fight's usually pretty easy. It's honestly probably one of the easiest boss fights in the game, even on Dante Must Die. She only really has like that attack that'll catch you off guard. Everything else is really telegraphed. Now when she turns golden, that is kind of a problem, especially on Dante Must Die, as I've mentioned. Oh, here it comes. Yeah. This might be a little hasty. Oh. Yeah, 'cause she is a lot faster in this mode. Jesus. And does a lot more damage. Oh, you know what? I forgot to buy gold orbs, actually. Just gonna keep warping and spin kicking this. Yeah, with Nero, you can just grab onto this and do a bunch of damage. Don't have that luxury with Dante and Vergil. Oh, shit. That came out of nowhere. I don't want to take the chance, so I'm just going to heal. Yeah, and Dante Must Die, I'm not too concerned about my end rating. Son of Sparta is pretty much the last difficulty that I can, like, do no damage runs or something like that on. Oh my god, especially on Turbo. I'll be able to perform much better once Turbo's off. Oh, no. And his lack of double jump is also just kind of frustrating. Which I would imagine V in Devil May Cry 5, he probably won't have a double jump either. I don't know what the story is exactly, but just given his name V, it seems like he's going to be tied to Vergil somehow. And if you look at the gameplay, it's very Vergil-like. He has like the summon swords ability, and he uses like it's like a staff sword, which Kind of holds like Yamato sometimes. So yeah, we'll see. And the obvious is that his name is V. And it's just V, there's no name attached to it yet. So he could just be like a vessel for Vergil or something like that. Who knows? These are all fan theories. I don't know. I mean, with all the trailers, they might as well just show you. They've pretty much given away, like, every story detail. I'm sure there are some, because I heard there were scenes leaked online, but I don't know if those, because I haven't looked them up, I don't know if they're from the trailer that was released, the final trailer. Because that one is pretty late game. They show you, like, the last area of the game. I won't explain what shows up, or where, or who. But it'd be like in DMC4 if they showed the trailer, and they showed the final fight with, like, the demonic savior. Oh, I still got an S rank. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, turbo mode's going off right away. Yeah, it'd be like if in Devil May Cry 4 they showed the final boss with the, where you had the power of Sparta already. Just go back to mission menu. Alright. Definitely turning this off. Yeah, 20% makes a huge difference. I'm gonna go back in there to make sure it's turned off. Okay. We're all good. Wait, what do I have inverted? Oh, the camera. Yeah, I don't know why certain games do that. It's one thing that really annoyed me with playing through the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games again. And the first one has a proper camera, like, facing it left and right. But in the Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, they have it inverted. So you're having to... Costumes. I mean... Kind of cool. I'll do the red one, why not? Yeah, they inverted the camera, and there's no setting to switch it back, which is kind of annoying. I also like how when you do the EX colors for a character, they're in the stance of the character that they're portraying. So, like, for Nero, he's standing like Vergil. And then for Dante, since he has the alt colors from the reboot, he's standing in, like, the same stance as Dante is on the cover. And then as you saw with Vergil, obviously, he's holding Yamato like Dante holds Rebellion. So yeah, cool little detail. Let's see. What was I gonna check? Oh, for make sure turbo's off. Don't want to have that happen again. Okay, we're good. Yeah, you'd think 20% wouldn't be that big of a deal, but oh boy. It sure does make a difference. Oh, it even changes. That's cool. It even changes when he teleports. It has a little red mist. It's a cool detail. I wonder if that happens for the corrupted Vergil too. Although I am kind of annoyed that corrupted Vergil, he doesn't turn into Nello Angelo like he does in DMC3. That's one of the cool details when you play as corrupted Vergil in DMC3. When you go into Devil Trigger, it actually becomes Nello Angelo. And his moveset changes too. It changes to be like Nello Angelo, like you would expect. But it's nice that the Devil Trigger doesn't just enhance, it actually like makes him slower and bulkier. And he has a different sword. But yeah, his corrupted Vergil in this one, he just becomes Sparta. So it's like, it's kind of odd that, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. They can both become Sparta in their Devil Trigger. But not really, because Dante uses... Yeah, and his alt skin for Dante in this one, he literally is Sparta. So it's like, it makes sense that he turns into the Sparta's Devil Trigger. But in the first game, his Devil Trigger, because it changes depending on the game, like this one it doesn't happen, but in DMC 1 and 3 it does, where your Devil Trigger depends on what weapon you're using. So like if you're using Ifrit or Alistair, your Devil Trigger will be different. And then, or no, it's not Alistair, it's, is it? I think it is Alistair actually. Yeah, it is Alistair, because the other one's Force Edge. So yeah, if you're using Alistair or Ifrit, your double trigger will change forms. And if you're using Alistair, you actually don't have a double trigger. Or not Alistair, Force Edge. I keep confusing the two. Because Force Edge is the unawakened form of Sparta. So when you're using the Sparta sword, you actually turn into Sparta's double trigger. So yeah, it's kind of an odd way, because in this game, like if you're using what is it? If you're using Gilgamesh or if you're using Lucifer, your double trigger doesn't change. So it's weird how in DMC 3 and DMC 1 the weapon changes your double trigger, and they kind of abandoned that in DMC 4. And it looks like 5 is going to be about the same, too, so I don't think they're going to continue that in 5. Although it is a cool detail. Maybe it's just, it does look like, yeah, see, I don't want to give away too much of the, I don't want to give away too much of the trailers, because a lot of people try to avoid it. But basically, it does show two different forms, but one of them seems to be a form that was from DMC 2, and DMC 2 has since pretty much been retconned. No, I am streaming on Twitch. I tried streaming on YouTube, but for whatever reason, because I have the Elgato, so I tried streaming on YouTube, and it was just a green screen. And then I tried streaming on Twitch with it, and it was still just a green screen. So I don't know what the deal was, because I definitely used it to stream previously. So I don't know what the case is there. And I tried updating Adobe Flash and everything, and that didn't work either. So yeah, very annoying. Yeah, DMC 5 is definitely going to be interesting. Where am I actually going? I forgot. Oh, yeah, going to the main room. Now that I have the fruit, I can go through that doorway. Yeah, I kind of blanked there for a second going through these rooms. I will say, easily the worst section of this game is when you come through and play as Dante, and then you go through the forest. Because the first half is like... You know what? Yeah, it is the first half that's annoying, because the first half is where you have those little portals, where you go through this cloud and that takes you to the next section. But it doesn't tell you which ones to go through, so you're just kind of like guessing the first time through. And then obviously if you've played the game before, then you know how to get through it. But it's just, the first time through it's annoying. And even if you know how to get through it, it's still just super annoying, because it's very time consuming. And sometimes you'll forget which door exactly to go through. It doesn't tell you at all how to get through there. Oop, oop, oop. Stay back. Oh my god. Yeah, these are much easier to break when you're playing as Dante. You just do the charged attack for Ebony and Ivory, and it breaks those in like 2 seconds. Nope. Oh shit. Oh, hold up. Nope. Stay back. Ooh, good catch on that one. Aha. Yeah, I didn't really like, that was what, like, my least favorite part of the game as a kid when I was playing through, because DMC 4 was actually my first Devil May Cry game. So when I was playing through the first time, I was like, this Nero guy is really cool, he must be the main character. And then I played as Dante, and at first I didn't like Dante at all, because I thought, I was like, I guess being introduced in DMC 4 to Dante, it's not really, you don't really get a sense of who he is, because the game basically just expects you've already played through 3 other games with him in it. So yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, who is this guy who's just stealing all the spotlight? Not realizing that Dante was the main character. As this being my first game, I just had that first scene where he breaks through the roof and shoots the Savior in the head. Or not the Savior, what's his name? Your Holiness, they call him. But yeah, you just have, or Sanctus actually is his name. But where he breaks through the ceiling and shoots him in the head, I was like, wait, this guy's the villain, why am I playing as him? So yeah, it was definitely a weird interaction. It's not like you have to play the first 3 to know, like, that he's not the villain of the series, but it's definitely, if it's your first game, that's kind of an odd introduction to him. I guess even if you did play the previous 3, it is still a pretty interesting interaction where you just see Dante come in and kill an old man, and you're like, that's out of character. Yeah, I do feel like his gameplay, because it seems like the game is absolutely built around Nero, like 100% Nero focused, and it seems like the game was probably just going to be all Nero at one point, but I think I read somewhere that people complained that Dante wasn't in the game, so I think they actually halfway through development were just like, let's actually just make this game half Dante. And since they were so far into development, they were just like, they just kind of slapped him in there and then reversed the order of the missions you go through. And then you just play them as Dante. So yeah, it definitely does feel like a lot of the enemies especially were made for Nero's playstyle. And you kind of get the same feeling with Vergil as well, where he doesn't feel, because he certainly feels like Vergil, but the game has a lot of mechanics that were built specifically for Nero. So when you switch over to either Dante or Vergil, especially with like Lady and Trish, the gameplay just feels different. Okay, DMC is in the one with the which young Dante? Because I've played DMC 3 and I've played the reboot as well. They're both young in that one. Actually, DMC 4, he was supposed to be even younger, I think, because the very, very first promotional trailer, they have Dante, he looks like a teenager. He looks like maybe it's like a year after DMC 3 or something. Yeah, they clearly changed that. Oh yeah, the reboot. Yeah, I played the reboot. I actually really liked it. I was one of like the few 10 people or so that when the TGS trailer came out in 2010, I actually liked it right off the bat. Because it was very different, but the moment I found out it was a reboot, I was fine with it being different. And it actually, I talked about it in the last stream that I did, that Capcom actually, their original design for Vergil, or not Vergil, well, I guess Vergil too, because he's in the game as well. But their original design for Dante was actually really close to what Dante used to look like. And they even have it in the concept art if you played the reboot. They have the original, like, red jacket, white hair Dante. And they sent it to Capcom, and Capcom was like, no, like, if we were going to do it like this, we would do it ourselves. So they told Ninja Theory, they're like, no, go further with this. Like, don't make it look anything like Dante. Make it a reboot. So they're like, okay, we'll make it a reboot. So that's why when people are like, Ninja Theory, you ruined it, you killed the game. It's like, no, that was like a literal note from Capcom. They said, make it different. And I was fine with that, because the first time I saw it in Game Informers, I was like, this looks really weird. I don't know why. Because I thought it was a sequel. I was like, this looks absolutely nothing like Dante. But yeah, the moment I found out it was a reboot, I was immediately okay with it. I was like, oh, that's fine. And then I really liked the music choice in the first trailer. But I keep trying to look for that song. I guess it was something they produced in-house, so it's not like a song that's out on the market. It was like, come on, guys, like, release it or something. I would buy it. Especially if they're the ones that made it, they get all the profit. But they must have just done it for the trailer and I guess never had intention on releasing it, but I don't get that. I mean, if you can sell it, sell it. That's the one thing that's annoying, that all the trailers after that, they actually did release the songs that were in them. This was just the one where they were like, nah. But yeah, I thought visually it looked very nice. And then when the game came out, the art style was relatively the same. They changed a lot after that first trailer, especially the look of Dante. It changed him a lot. Yeah, I really liked the gameplay on it too. It was easily, hands down, the most free-flowing DMC game ever. Like, the combos just, you can go from using one weapon to the next, and the combos just never ended. Like, you could literally just, that's another cool thing about Vergil, by the way, is when you're shooting the swords, it actually breaks away the swords that go around you, as you see right there, too. So it makes it a little easier to dodge them. Look at that. Just destroyed all of them before they could even get to me. Oh, nope. Oh, man, that was so close. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to spam you here. You know, this is actually pretty dangerous. I could die at any second. After my double trigger ends, I'm just going to heal myself real quick. Yeah, certain fights like this one's always hard, even with Nero. Now I have gotten good enough to the point where I can actually catch the sword or the lance when he throws it. But I don't think... You might be able to parry it with Vergil and Dante if you needed to, but I don't want to take the chance because I haven't tried it. And on Dante Must Die, I definitely don't want to take the chance. Oh, shit, hold up. Nope, go 3. Oh, man. Ooh. I don't know if you saw that, but I warped right through his blade there. Yeah, if you're like a high-skill Vergil player, you can pretty much go through any section of the game without even being touched. Oh, your shield is broken. You are so dead now. Oh. Come on, just a few more hits. Oh, you are dead. Yeah, that is one of the... Because I actually, in 2013, I made that DMC game my, like, game of the year. But I even said in the video that there are definitely some faults to it. Like, it's not a flawless game, I wouldn't say. But I did play the hell out of it. And I bought it on the Xbox 360 originally, and I 100%ed the... Not only the game, but the achievements. And the same thing with Vergil's DLC. And then you had... what is it, when they did the Definitive Edition, I not only, again, 100%ed it, but I got all the achievements for it on both Dante and Vergil's story. So yeah, it did have a lot of very cringy moments, like, everyone's cringiest of that game was the poison boss fight, where it was very cringy, I will say. It kind of came out of nowhere, too, because the rest of the game, the dialogue wasn't that bad, but... Man, when you get to the poison boss fight, that exchange is just... It is horrible. And even as much as I like the game, that interaction was bad. Yeah, the succubus... is that whole interaction, and it's like, completely unwarranted, too. He just walks in, and immediately he's like, I'm your prom date, you ugly sack of shit. It's like, where the hell did that come from? And then you have the best exchange in history. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! It's like just 3 lines back to back just saying fuck you to each other. Very cringy. But I do like how sarcastic he is. Like, even in that scene with how cringy the before part was, I like how when he, like, detaches all of her cables and she falls into the poison below, he's like, you're dumped. That's a very Dante thing to do. And then when he's trying to knock her into the fans, and he's like, she keeps grabbing onto stuff, and he's like, you know what your problem is? You're too clingy. And then when she gets cut up by the fans, he's like, I think you're all mixed up. It's like, that kind of stuff that's like Dante cheesiness. That was the kind of dialogue that should have happened before the fight. Because it's like, he didn't have to swear, he just had to be cheesy and comedic. Which he was in... As the game progresses, he does get a lot better. That poison fight, it's not exactly the first boss fight, because the Hunter Demon's technically the first one, but it is the second boss fight. So it's like, it's still early enough in the game for him to be kind of a tool. Yeah, after that section, he does get a lot better. And if you notice, like, the progression on the game, he becomes less and less of a douchebag as the game goes on. Which I'm fine with the earlier cringy scenes because of where you go to where the story goes to. Because it's like, if he's cringy all the way through, then yeah, you got a problem there. But the fact that he does become closer to the Dante that everyone knows by the end of it, it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I just hope they get a chance to do a sequel. Because when the game came out, they were like, just, for 3 years straight, just hard trashing it. Not even giving it the chance. And then the demo came out, and people were like, you know what? The gameplay's actually pretty good. And then the full game came out, and they were like, yeah, it is actually pretty good. And then the Definitive Edition came out, and it was like no one had any bad things to say about it once the Definitive Edition was out. Because I will say, one of the biggest complaints I had about the base game was that the colored enemies, like the blue and the red enemies, they physically could not be touched by any other weapon. So if you used like a demon weapon on an angel, it would just deflect and your combo would end. So if you're in the middle of fighting a bunch of enemies, you would like be trying to pull off cool combos, and then you would accidentally touch like an angel demon, or just an angel, I guess. And your sword would deflect and your combo would end. So it's like, oh my, this is just the most frustrating shit ever. But they did fix that in the definitive edition, where you can hit them with the opposite color. Like if you're using an angel weapon on a demon, it'll actually hit them now, but they won't flinch. So it's like you can hit them, but you won't be able to flinch them. So you still have to dodge when they attack. But it at least makes it to where you're not having to constantly deflect your weapons. Yeah, the music in that game was amazing. I really loved it. Because they had the two producers for it was, you had Combi Christ and then you had Noisia, or Nausea. I don't know how you say that. It's like Nosia, which I would imagine is Noisia, because Nausea just sounds like, it doesn't sound like it's a good band name. Where it's like, oh yeah, our band name is Nausea. It's like, it just makes it sound like you're making people sick or something with your music. Yeah, Combi Christ, because I didn't even know who Combi Christ was before DMC, the reboot. It's kind of hard, because it's like, it's D underscore, or D lowercase M C Devil May Cry. So when you're talking about the game, it's like, it's a weird, you either say the reboot, or you say DMC Devil May Cry. Which is kind of odd, because it literally translates to Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry. Yeah, the Combi Christ music in that game was amazing. Easily my two favorites were, what do you call it? Sent to Destroy was good, Never Surrender was good. Probably my favorite one off that, it was Gotta Go. It's the one that plays when you're in the succubus, what is it called? Virility. When you're in the Virility factory and Cat pulls out that egg timer. He's like, is that an egg timer? And it turns out it is an egg timer. But it's when he's like shifting it as they're falling down. Oh yeah, that's a good song too. I'm pretty sure that's literally what that song is called. I think it's called What the Fuck Is Wrong With You. Yeah, that's one that plays during the, it happens at the boss fight, or not the boss fight, but it happens at like round 7 of Lilith's nightclub. Which the nightclub visually was just incredible. That game's art design was amazing. That's one thing that even the people who hated it couldn't disagree with. That technically it's very cool too. Heal again. Because you had just like the stage would break away as you're fighting, and the whole world would just be like bending around you, kind of like Inception. But it's cool to see that in a game because it's happening live as you're playing. So technically, for a small studio to pull that off, that's really impressive. And realistically, Ninja Theory had always made pretty good games before that, but their combat was definitely lacking. So DMC seemed to be like a good stepping stone for them, where now they can be more competent as action game makers. Because their first game was basically just God of War, or technically it wasn't their first game. It was their first game as Ninja Theory, because I think before that they went under a different studio name, but they made a game called Kung Fu Hustle, which is actually funny because I played that as a kid and I had no idea who made it. So it wasn't until Devil May Cry came out that I was like, oh, okay, they made that. Yeah, the music in the DMC reboot, because obviously, I think the only songs that Nausea, or I don't know how to, Noisia, I don't know how to say their band name. I need to look it up. But yeah, the only songs that they made, I think, were just during boss fights. But I don't think they had, I'm pretty positive in Lilith's Club, they have the background music, like the, just that kind of stuff. I think they did that. I don't think that was Combi Christ. But yeah, for pretty much every boss fight, it's all Noisia, and then you have, for Vergil's boss fight, it was actually Combi Christ that made that one. It was called Empty. And it's a really good song for that boss fight. That's the boss fight, like, I had a feeling it was coming, because there's no, like, lead up to it. It's just kind of like, you know you're going to be fighting Muntus. You know you're going to be fighting Mundus, and then at the very end, they kind of switch gears. I mean, it's not like it came out of nowhere, because they were, like, building up to it. They had a lot of scenes prior, especially where he kills Lilith. It's like, they're certainly building up for him to be kind of like, not exactly a villain, but more like a, I would say anti-hero. Because even at the end of the game, he's not really a villain. He just basically tells Dante, he's like, listen, I like the humans, alright? I like them. I want to protect them, but I want to protect them as like a king, not as just some dude that goes around fighting demons. Which is what Dante wants. He's just like, I'll protect them when I need to, but that's kind of where that ends. Which is pretty much like the Dante in the main series, where he has the Devil May Cry devil hunting business. Which, granted, he does get paid, but sometimes he doesn't even get paid. He just goes out and fights demons, which is why he's always having financial troubles. And then Lady steals like 90% of his income anyway, so he really doesn't make that much money doing it. He just does it for the passion. Yeah, Combi Christ, the music in that game, I made sure to pump my speakers up when I would play that game. But especially that first scene where you're first introduced to Dante, where the hunter demon throws the claw at his trailer, and he's like, "Get your filthy fucking claw off my trailer!" And they start playing. What song do they play there? It's not. Oh yeah, it was Never Surrender. Yeah, they did play Never Surrender on that one. Yeah, the bass line in that song is incredible. And then in the intro cinematic, they played Throat Full of Glass, which is another good song. The songs are very violent, so it's definitely takes like a certain kind of listener. Yeah. Oh, move away from that. And then Sent to Destroy was good too. Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't watch the trailers for DMC5, because I did spoil a lot for myself. Obviously, I won't say anything that happened in the trailers. But yeah, there are big spoilers in that trailer. It's not so much events that happen, just like... It is mostly events that happen out of context. They don't tell you how they get there. They're just like, here's the thing. So it's like, you're still going in technically blind watching the trailer because you don't know how it happens, but you just know that it happens. But the fact that it happens is like, I really didn't want to see that. But it's one of those things where I usually try to watch trailers just because I don't want to see an image online, and then if you see an image of it, it's worse than seeing the video, because now you have no context for it. It's like when Civil War came out, and the trailer, I think it was before I even watched the trailer for Civil War, they were like, oh my god, Spider-Man's in the trailer. And I was like, well damn it, now I have to watch the trailer, because they've already told me what's in the trailer. So it's like, at that point you can't even just go in blind, because you already saw online what's in the trailer, so you know what's in the movie. That's one thing with DMC, where it's like, every time a trailer is released, I just watch it right away. Because, like, if somebody pops up in the trailer, or a certain scene pops up in the trailer, I'd rather see it there than, like, read it online. Which, quite frankly, if I skipped this final trailer, I probably wouldn't... I still haven't seen anybody posting anything about the final trailer, so I could have just got away with not knowing what was in it, but... yeah, I definitely screwed myself by watching it, because it was massive plot points that they gave away in that trailer. They practically... like, I won't give any details, but it seems like they showed the final mission. Not just the final mission, but, like, the final scene. It seems like it's almost the final scene of the game. It's like, dude, come on. They did that for Infinity War, too. I remember in the Infinity War trailer, they showed... it was completely out of context in the trailer, but they showed the scene where Tony has, like, his hand on his face, and he's, Tony has his hand on his face, and he's like, he looks sad, and in the trailer you have no context for what that means, but if you watched Infinity War, you know that's like literally the last 5 minutes of the movie. Like after the snap and characters disappear, it's like you have Tony reacting that way. It's like, alright, well. Yeah, IGN does that a lot. What the hell does that mean? Yeah, IGN is pretty bad. But for whatever reason, it flagged the comment, and then it's like it made me either agree or remove it. But I added it, and it says that I used /add_permitted_term a cunt illin. I don't know what that means. It like completely misspelled. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, IGN's horrible with that kind of stuff. And a lot of the times their videos don't even make any sense. Like they'll they'll post something like, this artist made incredible renderings of SpongeBob in, like, what was it? It was like SpongeBob characters. It wasn't, no, it was Smash Brothers characters in the God of War art style. But you watch the video they posted and they don't show any of the images. So it's like, okay, so this video was just pointless then. You say there's something and then you don't show it, and you basically just force me to go look it up. So it's like, well, why'd you even make the video? Their content is pretty worthless sometimes. And I also don't like how when you're looking up game trailers, and let's say Capcom posted like a Devil May Cry trailer, and then you try to look it up on YouTube and you see like GameSpot posted the trailer, IGN posted the trailer, and it's like, I want to give my views to Capcom, I don't want to give my views to IGN. But it's not even like they have exclusive rights to the trailer, it's just multiple sites get to upload the trailer for some reason. It happens with Marvel movies too, like you'll look up like the Infinity War trailer and you'll see it was uploaded by Marvel Entertainment, but then you'll also see it was uploaded by like Movie Clips Trailers YouTube channel. And it's like, well, I want to give my views to Disney, I don't want to give my views to this random guy who's just re-uploading content. I don't even know if they're allowed to do that. I don't know what the threshold is on there. I know there's kind of like it's like a fair use thing with trailers where you're allowed to comment on it, but not just like straight upload the full trailer. It's one thing that people criticize Angry Joe for a lot, because his reaction videos, like, he just plays the entire thing in its entirety. So if a new trailer comes out, he plays the entire trailer without pausing it, and then he inspects it later. Yeah, technically speaking, that's not fair use, because you're using the property in its entirety. So that's one thing that people forget about when they're, oh, I need to get a, how am I supposed to avoid, okay, alright, never mind. Yeah, it's one thing people don't realize with fair use is that you can't use the entire thing. Like, there's a gray area when it comes to games. Like, you're allowed to just play the game start to finish with no cuts, because it's a different kind of thing. But where media like TV and movies, they're a lot more behind on that. So they don't exactly, they don't agree with that kind of, like, you can't just go stream a full season of South Park or something like that. It doesn't work that way. But you can stream the entire gameplay of DMC4, for example, like I'm doing currently. So yeah, it's different copyright laws. Which is just kind of stupid, because it's like, they use that argument, like the Let's Plays came under fire a few years ago when the really started to get popular, where they're like, you're stealing money from the developers because now people won't buy the game, they'll just watch it online. Like, well, no. Mostly people watching it were probably never going to buy the game to begin with. Same thing with piracy, where they're like, well, if they can just steal it, they won't buy it. It's like, no, if they were going to pirate it, they probably would have never bought it anyway. And there are people that actually pirate games and then go out and buy the copy of it afterwards. So it's like, in those cases, they don't even lose a sale. And if the guy was never going to buy the game, then by pirating it, they don't lose the sale anyway, because the guy was never going to purchase the game. This is also a really easy way to cheese this boss fight, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not very difficult. And this boss fight usually sucks as Nero. I hate this. This is the worst boss fight in the game. I hate it so much. It's both of the Agnes boss fights are just the worst, because you have the one where he's hiding behind the glass and he uses the swords, and that one sucks too. And then you have this one as well, where with Nero this is a lot harder, but you can really abuse it when you're doing that. Yeah, that's one of the arguments I don't get about it. Because I don't think I've ever pirated games. That's a pretty advanced, because I've definitely downloaded pirated music when I was a kid. But that's the thing, is that I didn't have any money because I was a kid and I didn't work. So it's like I couldn't just go out and, because I did start working pretty young, but I couldn't just go out and buy like 3 albums if I wanted to. So it's like, it's understandable at that point to pirate. And again, back to my point, is that I would have never purchased those with cash, so it's like, you're not losing any sales. Now that I'm older and have a job, I purchase every song that I want to listen to. I buy the full album for most bands. So it's like, I buy the music now that I can afford it. But before, it's like, because I don't even think, outside of ROMs and stuff like that for NES games, I don't think I've ever really pirated any games. I can't even think of a situation. I didn't have the computer for it. Piracy takes like takes a little bit of tech savvy, which I can barely, for certain emulators, I can barely download the emulator and get it to work properly. The only emulator I've gotten to work at all in the recent history was a Game Boy Color emulator. So I wanted to play. I wish the Nintendo Store would release this already, because I wanted to play the Pokemon Randomizer. Yeah, see, I don't know any of that. The only kind of cheats that I used for Pokemon is I had an action replay, and that thing is amazing. You can do like clipping where you can go through walls. You can make all Pokemon encounters shiny. Which actually, I still have that action replay, and it still works on Pokemon Diamond. So I've actually been like kind of cheating shinies out that way. And it's not like I trick anyone, like I make shinies and then I'm like, yeah, take this shiny. Like I make them shiny for myself. But one thing that's really good, I don't know if you've played the Virtual Console with red and silver and gold and all that, but all of the exploits actually carry over. So in red, you can still do the missing node glitch, and then you can also still do the what is it? What other glitch is in red? The coin... No, not the coin case. It's the 8F glitch. It was the coin case in silver. Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing. But yeah, the 8F glitch was like such a process to go through. It's very annoying. But once you do it, you feel like a hacker. Like, it's incredible. And then basically, depending on what Pokemon you have in your party and what items you have in your inventory in what order. And you have to use the missing no glitch as well, because you have to get, like, basically for some of the exploits, you have to have like 136 of an item in your, I think it's 137, but you have to do like basically numbers that can't exist in your inventory, like 255. So you have to use missing node to duplicate your items to be able to like go past the point that you could normally make items in there. These fights are just so annoying with these things. Yeah, good choice. Red and silver with the two that I picked up. Actually, when I went back on the 3DS, I bought all of them. I bought red, blue, and yellow, and then I bought gold, silver, and crystal. And the sad part is, I played through all 6 of them. So I've... Oh no, that's... Good lord, that does so much damage. Yeah, I played through all 6 of the games, back to back. That's how much I like Pokemon. Yeah, the 8F glitch, you can basically just manipulate game code. Yeah, I'm just killing these guys. I'm not doing this fight. I hate these enemies. Especially in these closed areas like this. It's just so annoying. But yeah, the 8F glitch, you can basically just rewrite the game's code, and it happens in a way that the game doesn't even know. So it's like, if you make a Pokemon shiny, which in red and like blue and all that, obviously shinies didn't exist. But the way that shinies transfer over to silver and gold and all of that is that depending on their stat line in red, they become shiny in silver. So what you do is you would use the game code to manipulate their stat line. You would use the game code to manipulate their stat line, and then you would transfer it over to gold and silver, and they'd be shiny. So what I would do is I would catch Pokemon, like I would use the... Luckily, I named my character Red when I played through on Red, obviously. But the cool thing is, the missing no glitch, depending on what character, like what name you give your character, you actually get certain Pokemon. So it'll be like stupid things like Golbat or something like that. But if your name is Red, one of the Pokemon that can pop up when you're doing the missing no glitch is a level 100 Mewtwo. So I basically I kept doing the missing no glitch until I got like a whole inventory of level 100 Mewtwo's, and I would transfer them over to Gold and Silver. And this was before Gold and Silver, so I would transfer the Mewtwo's over to Sun and Moon, and then once I had them in Sun and Moon, what I would do is I would put them on the GTS, and I could pretty much just get any Pokemon I wanted. Like if I wanted a legendary, I would put a level 100 Mewtwo on there, and they'd be like, "Oh, absolutely, I'll give you whatever you want." Did I need to do that? I don't think I needed to do that. I think I just needed to walk through. I think I just walked through this way. Yeah, once you have a level 100 Mewtwo, you pretty much get whatever whatever Pokemon you want that way. And then it got better when Silver came out, because you can do the coin paste glitch, which creates shiny Pokemon. And then you can basically just use the box glitch where you can clone Pokemon. So all you need to do is just make one shiny and then just keep cloning it. So what I did is I put the level 100 Mewtwo's in there, I gave them like a really good moveset, like Flamethrower, Iron Tail, Shadow Ball, and Psychic, I think it was. And I made them shiny, and then I made clones of them. So it was a level 100 shiny Mewtwo that was completely legitimate because it happened in the game's code. So it wasn't like an action replay that created them. So you can put them on the GTS just fine, and it doesn't register as a fake Pokemon because it's not. Because it's not like an action replay where it's a third-party source. It's using in-game code, manipulated granted, but it's using the in-game code to change the way the code is written. So it's like, it's written as if you got that legitimately. So the game doesn't know a difference. That my battery was low, just died. Yeah, as I was saying, you basically manipulate the game's code to create whatever you want. So you can do like shinies, or you can make specific Pokemon spawn, or you can even make it to where it changes a Pokemon. Like if you have a Machop in your first slot or something, you do the coin case glitch and it will change whatever that Pokemon is. So it'll turn Machop into like a Celebi if you wanted to, which is what I did. And then the 8F glitch you could actually use to create a legit Mew. Because you can just do the Mew fly glitch in Red and Blue to get a Mew, but you couldn't transfer it over to Sun and Moon. So what you had to do is do the 8F glitch, and you'd had to create a Mew that was legitimate. Which there was only one Mew, I think, that could do that. And it had like a very specific ID, where it was like GF, and it was like 28-7, it was something weird like that. But it was basically the trainer ID of Game Freak's like official giveaway. So what you would do is, obviously on the virtual console, there's no possible way you could have the legitimate one, just because they didn't do the release again, so there's no way you could have it. But yeah, you basically change it to that, and the game registers it as legitimate, and then you can transfer it to Sun and Moon. So what I did with that one is I transferred it to Silver, and then I cloned it and made it shiny, and then I transferred it to Sun and Moon. So now I have a shiny Mew. I have a shiny Celebi the same way, because they actually did make a legitimate Celebi. If you bought Crystal, you could actually do the GS ball and everything. So yeah, I have a legitimate Celebi with the GS ball, and then I made it shiny with the coin case glitch, and then I cloned it. And then now I have a legitimate shiny, and I have a legitimate Celebi as well, non-shiny. So now I can use like an infinite number of either one of them. And since I also have an infinite number of shiny Mewtwo's that I can put on the GTS, I basically, for at least the 3DS, I don't know if you can transfer them over to Sword and Shield when those come out, but at least on the 3DS, I can get whatever Pokemon I want. Which, hopefully you can transfer them to Sword and Shield, because I would like to be able to transfer my Mewtwo's over there and basically just continue that chain. Because I pretty much have 3 of every legendary, which are so annoying to find otherwise, because you basically have to hope somebody on the GTS will just give you one of their legendaries for some, like, good Pokemon. Yeah, there are pretty easy ways now to get legitimate shinies. Whoa, hold up. Oh. Like, the Ultra Wormholes, you can get shinies very easily from that. And then, what is the other... I think just chaining. I think because there is... I can't remember... Oh, yeah, what is it? Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I did a lot of shinies on that one too. Those are like probably the easiest to get. Maybe the Ultra Wormhole is easier, but those shinies are still pretty easy to get. I hate these Faust demons so much. Oh, we got one. Oop. They're so annoying to fight. It's like with Dante, you have the Rebellion that you can charge up. Or not Rebellion, you have Ebony and Ivory that you can charge up, and it takes away their cloak very quickly. And you have Vergil, who just slowly wears away at it, with no, like, really good shortcut without having to expend your Devil Trigger gauge. Which is why I usually don't like doing the summon swords like that. And he has these stupid little swords that just fly around you constantly. Oh my god. Oh no, I don't have any gold orbs. Ugh, that's frustrating. Well, let's hope it doesn't continue me that far back. See, this is why you always need at least one gold orb. Oh yeah, and I have the Dante fight coming up too. That one also sucks. Yeah, this game has some really annoying moments. Not so much on Son of Sparta, but when you're playing on Dante Must Die in Hell or Hell mode, or Hell and Hell mode, I think it's called, it just becomes just so annoying. Just gonna quickly rinse through these guys now. Oh, that was a pretty easy way to get him out. Yeah, I'm probably just going to use my summoned sword moves on this guy. Ooh, nope. Ooh, that was pretty good too. It also knocked away his swords, which is a nice bonus. I hate these swords so much. Ooh. Oh my god. This Faust boss is just the most annoying enemy in the game, probably. Just gonna double trigger spin on him. That worked. Whoop. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's very clunky in ways with his double jump. So you can't use the auto lock while you're doing it, otherwise you'll just kind of warp to an enemy. So it already changes the way you have to play the game to be able to, oh my god, and it's not very accurate. Oh, come on, baby! There we go. Yeah, and the Chronos was about to run out too, so that was about to be very frustrating. Yeah, these guys aren't incredibly hard to fight on Dante Must Die. They do still have their problems. But with Vergil, you can get behind them pretty easily, which is usually the most important thing about them. Oh, nope, didn't jump in time there. You guys just give it a rest. Oh, nope, nope. There we go. Let's shut that down quickly. Oh man, I literally warped right into his sword. Or a lance, technically. That was horrible. I think there's a healing item ahead, but I don't think it's that high, so I'll just use that one for now. Break that down quickly. Probably change costumes on the next one, just to keep it fresh. Actually, I'm not sure how you get the alternate costumes. Maybe... I don't think you have to purchase them. I think for the Gloria one you do. Actually, I'm not sure, because I know the EX colors you have to get... I think it's like a certain amount of demon kills on the post-credit scene. Yeah, I don't know exactly how you get the alternate costumes. I'm pretty positive Gloria's at least was like a pre-purchase kind of thing. You have Trish's Gloria costume. They might have all been like that, honestly. And this one, I don't know if they ever made a physical version of it, but it was digital only when I first got it. And I think now I've seen physical copies of it. Or maybe I'm thinking of Halo Wars too. Yeah, now that my Xbox has the disc tray issue, I usually download games anyway. Which I'm gonna buy the physical copy of DMC5 because I want the Steelbook So that one I don't want to do the digital version of. Yeah, for Red Dead Redemption 2, I bought Black Ops 4, I got all those digital. Just easier. You don't have to get up and swap out the games. But I do like having the physical copies just because if my disc tray wasn't being so broken, I would get physical copies for everything. But it's kind of like the Red Ring of Death, where I guess the launch consoles for the Xbox One, they have a disc issue now, where it's like an 80% chance if you had a launch console. It's very frustrating. And it's past the warranty too, so they won't fix it. Oh, oh. Yeah, see, like, Vergil, when you change, he actually still changes his double trigger, like Dante did in DMC3. Oop. Yeah, Dante just has given that up. Which I would assume means that this Vergil is the DMC3 Vergil. It's a weird thing they moved away from. Not really sure why they did that. Maybe it's just easier to develop around. But it does look like the Dante in DMC5 has just one double trigger form that he uses. But you would think as he gets more powerful, he would get different forms. It's kind of weird that he loses the forms. Yeah, I think my favorite double trigger form from DMC3 was Agni. I think it's Agni and Rudra is what it was called. That form was really cool. He was like a spiky demon. I think it changed for every devil arm too, so you had a lot of variety. I was gonna do a gold orb just in case. It's probably not wise to use gold orbs on boss fights, just because of how easy it is to get back into it. Not a very canon boss fight here. And a very annoying one. I hate fighting Dante in this one. Because he counters to the specific attack you're using. So it's like you have to know exactly how to get through his defenses. And it's so frustrating. You can abuse him kind of with Nero, like if you're using the snatch ability. But even then, he actually does get smarter, and he starts evading it. Alright, that's it. I'm just gonna break it. Yeah, his double trigger rapid slash, or rapid cut. I think it's rapid slash. It's very broken. Oh. Gauntlet versus gauntlet. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this fight being over. It doesn't look that difficult, but it is. It is very difficult. Ooh. And if you get a combo going for too long, he'll actually just, like, break out of it somehow. Doesn't really follow the rules. Come on. As you can see, he has all the weapons on him right now. Which actually I don't think happens on your initial playthrough. I think it only happens on the higher difficulty levels. Because obviously at this point in the game, he doesn't have all those moves, and I think he has Trickster and all that, but he doesn't have all the swords and guns. Break free! Yeah, Nero, you can at least use the Buster Arm to be able to get some consistent damage on him. Vergil and the rest of them, you just have to get lucky that he's not going to do a counterattack on you. So a lot of what you can just do with Nero is just shoot him a bunch of times and then grab him when he's shooting back at you. That's a kind of good way to put damage on him. The Lucifer's busted on me. I guess he's pretty open after that move, too. Oh, man. Maybe that's the way you can abuse him in this one. Oop. Oh, no. I'm just gonna heal myself. I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, I don't think the game... I know DMC3, they penalize you for using items. I don't think this one does. It definitely penalizes you for using red orbs and continues. I mean, not red orbs, for using gold orbs and continues. But I don't think it punishes you for just using healing items, which it kind of should. Oh my god. That Royal Guard. I've already used so many items. I just have to use this one too. It's so annoying. You cut it out. Just so... Oh. Oh, the swords didn't even explode on him. Use another item. I don't like taking chances and run this far in. Oh my god. Royal Guard just does so much. Holy shit, look at my health. Yeah, I'm gonna holy water him. That did pretty much nothing. Did one of those little bars. I didn't even come after him on that one. Nope, 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 don't really... Oh my god, I just barely dodged that. Woo. There we go. Yeah, I just barely dodged that last one he did, too. You die already? Yeah, that's about what I expected. Stylish ranking very low on that one. Yeah, you can tell a stark contrast of when I have missions where I fight against Dante. My ranking drops a lot. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna change costumes. I don't play as Corrupted Vergil that much. See what all the fuss is about there. I mostly don't like it for the Devil Trigger. I liked it better when it turned into Nello Angelo. I guess it kind of makes sense that he becomes Sparta, but not really. Because Dante's Devil Trigger, at least his costume is Sparta, so it doesn't really make that much sense. Here he is, the Savior. Now this mission is super annoying. Not so much for just the mission itself. What does it do? Oh, because I'm wearing Beowulf. I was like, why are his feet so weird looking there? Yeah, this one's just annoying for the fact that if you lose, no matter where you're at in the mission, you start all the way back from the beginning. So even if you're at the very, very end, you still have to go right back to the beginning if you die. So on Dante Must Die, this very... Oh, the warp actually changes too when you're in Corrupted Vergil too. So it changes for all the costume variants. It's very cool. Do the flurry attack. It's a good one for getting your style ranking up. Come on, get to that triple, baby! Oh, it's so close. I can feel it. You just break already? I like doing this for the orbs, but it's very annoying when it doesn't break. There we go, finally. Alright. Now on to the actual mission. Yeah, these sections are also a little more annoying because they don't have the same exact mechanic as Nero's. They kind of pull in a different way. I'm gonna try cutting these guys. Oh. You know what? That might actually be kind of rough. Try to avoid that. I'm gonna do this on him. Oh, no, break him out of it. Break him out of it. Okay, I didn't. Already off to a good start here. Holy shit, they are so devastating. You just do it like that. That kind of works. That helps put damage on them as well when they're in front of you. Okay, that one gave me health at least. You know what? The swords would also help knock his swords away too. Oh my god, that one does so much damage. Alright, well at least it died early. Yeah, that one does an incredible amount of damage if it gets through. Oh, this mode is not for the faint of heart. It gets very annoying. Yeah, if you look at the percentage of people that have beaten Devil May Cry 4 on Dante Must Die mode, it is not very high. You have to be in like the top 0.2% of people to even beat Dante Must Die. That's with all the weapons that people have, like, items and weapons, all of that. You have access to all of that. People still can't do it. So I think I've beaten Dante Must Die in every game except for the first one, and that wasn't really for difficulty, that was just because I never got through it. So I've beaten, easily the hardest game is DMC 3 on Dante Must Die. That was just ridiculous. The Vergil fight at the end on Dante Must Die, you have to have like a full stock of items if you're not the best player in the world. Which I am not. So I had to use items on that one. He's just so fast and unpredictable. And he doesn't really telegraph himself that much until it's already too late. Wow, that took me almost from a full bar. That was incredible. Alright, let's try that again. Hopefully not a fourth time. Just kills you so quickly. And there's really, like, no way... Because I know you can deflect them, but it didn't seem like the swords really helped me out that much. It's not like on the... What's that guy called? Damn, what's his name? Credo, on the Credo boss fight. It's not like on him, where you can just use the swords and it'll deflect all of his little swords away. That's a little more annoying than that. Just gonna do this. Just gonna have the sword spiraling around me and just lunar cycle them. That's another annoying thing. If they fall too far, they just turn back into their cloak form. So it's like all of that was for nothing. So if they're too high up in the air, you might as well just not even touch them because they're just gonna land in their cloak anyway. Oh my god, I should have deflected it with my moves there. Ooh. Yeah. Nope. Dodge it again. I have to deal with the boss in the background too. It's so fun. Oh my god, and there they are. There they are. They're spinning around. I guess I can deflect them like that. I'm just gonna spam him, I don't care. I don't care about style so much when I'm fighting this guy. Oh, no! I just saw the last frame of being hit there. Yeah, I don't like taking chances on these guys. They're too frustrating to fight. Oh my god. And he's gonna have that big one. Yeah, that one there. That's the one that kills you if it touches. There's almost no way around it. It's just, you get touched, you're screwed. Nope, nope. I'm finishing this fight now. Oh my god, 4th time! Ah, alright. I will get through this section. You know, I'm just gonna use a holy water. I don't care. I'm not playing through this section anymore. I think from now on, whenever there's like a whole conglomerate of those Faust demons, I'm just gonna holy water them. The holy water actually does really good damage on them. It depends on what enemy. If you use it on a boss fight, it's not incredibly good. If you use it on some of the weaker enemies, they just insta-die. I was gonna fight these two normally and then bust out the holy water on the last one. It's just so annoying. Ooh, nice explosion on that. You know what? I'm gonna try it without the holy water. I'm gonna save money whenever I can. Will, however, do the Judgment Cut in. That does good damage. Ooh, look at that. Out of your form. Now you're exposed to the rest of the world. Haha. Well, that was a lot easier than the other attempts. Yeah, I'll probably just do that from now on. Just go into Devil Trigger and use that. Yeah, that always threw me off as a kid, because this is basically just telling you how to get back to the other section. But I kept going through those thinking that that was the way I was supposed to go. You see sections like this, they just left the door always open. Because with Nero, you had to use the snatch ability to pull the other one on the other side of the door. Obviously, with Vergil, you can't do that. So they removed that layer. Otherwise, you'd just be stuck there, waiting for them to waddle over. And I guess you could draw their attention, but I don't know. I don't think they would walk over on their own. Look at this. Hidden knowledge. There's going to be orbs in here. Aha. Yeah, I don't know if I know every location of orbs in this game, but I know probably 95% of them. If I don't know all of them. Which I very well might know all of them. Alright. The perks of not having double jump. Come on. Yeah, you have to use the warp as like a secondary double jump, but it's a little clunkier than just a regular old double jump. Alright. Let's try that again. And because his swords carry him differently than Nero's snatch ability, it's also... Oh my god. It's also a lot harder for these sections to line it perfectly. Oh, alright. Okay, I'm over now. I'm trying to get the secret orbs in there. Come on, trigger it already. I'm standing here. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't trigger right away. Maybe it's not this spot, actually. Maybe it's the next one. Yeah, it's probably the next one. It's definitely one of these... Oh yeah, that's right. This triggers enemies. Should not have jumped down here. Oh, wow. Preemptively dodged that one. I had a feeling it was going to clash on a shield, so I just immediately jumped out of the way. Woo! Come on, boys. Okay, I'm already full on Devil Stars. I must say Death Stars. It's a different franchise. Ooh. Will you stop it? That's the annoying thing about having items that you've already picked up, is that just annoy you during boss fights. Or just regular enemy fights. Wouldn't exactly call this a boss fight. Ugh, even though it sometimes feels like it with these shield guys. Yeah. It was like a straight up samurai film there. We both dashed at each other at the same time. And away with you. Alright. Let's do this timing. Yeah. It's gotta be. Yeah, it's this one here. I knew it was one of them. Gotta save my credibility here. I think you have to keep fighting this guy if you fall. So I definitely don't want to fight any unnecessary enemies. I think Force Edge is probably the one I use the least out of Vergil's weapons. I'm always switching back and forth between Beowulf and Yamato. Yeah, because Force Edge is kind of like a weaker version of Dante's Rebellion. The moveset's pretty much the exact same, but there are some additions to it. It's just you can't do air combos with it, because it only does Helmbreaker. So whenever you have this one, you're always just falling out of the sky. Now you can do Stinger in the air, which is interesting. You can't do that with Dante. And then of course you have the combos that bring in Yamato as well. So that's new. Like this one here. Just go on a feeding frenzy. So yeah, stuff like that is cool, but I like using these two better. Higher damage output too. Alright. Show me more Faust demons. I love fighting Faust demons. I think you fight these guys first and then the Faust demons pop up. Oh no. That was the wrong move. Nope. None of that did. Ooh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. It looks like it's just the Angelos. I think that's what they're called. They're called Angelos. They're made in a similar process to the way that Vergil was corrupted. But they're made by humans instead. They're very angelic looking, as the name would suggest. This game definitely moved away from a lot more of the demon designs, and it became more like Final Fantasy characters. Which I guess was intentional, because the obvious, like, they're all worshipping angels and loving demons and all that, so it's like a mix between the two. Ooh. Speaking of which, I hope they change Dante's theme by the time DMC5 comes out. I don't think they've really updated it at all, but I know the lead singer got into that controversy, so they've already said that they're going to be removing his vocal track. Which, I mean, they actually did, I think somebody went in, I don't think it was Capcom that released it, but I think somebody removed the vocal track, and it actually does sound a lot better without the guy singing. Yeah, apparently the confusion there was the lead singer thought he was singing for the reboot. He thought it was that Dante. So he actually looked up the reboot Dante and was using that as a placeholder for the music. So that's why it was like kind of like Combi Christ sounding, but also like emo, screamo kind of music in there too. So yeah, he did not know what game he was making the song for, so that's where the biggest discrepancy in music came from. Because you have Nero's theme, and then you have V's theme that sound like very Devil May Cry, and then that one's like just straight up screamo. So yeah, needless to say, people were not very happy with it. Like, I didn't think it was completely terrible, but it definitely had its faults. I'm not even gonna fight these guys, because it brings in two of those Angelo characters, and I don't like fighting them. I'm just gonna get a couple points on these guys, and then get out of here. Oh, and there they come. And I'm out. Whoa, I dodged that one at the last second. Yeah, I think Dante's theme was called Subhuman. Probably still is, just without the singer. Obviously with his controversies. And I think it wasn't just accusations, I think he actually was guilty of what he was accused of. So yeah, very sticky situation to be in there. Don't exactly blame Capcom for that. And really, the song kind of sucked, so I don't not that sad about it. It's not like that kind of music is always terrible, but that song specifically was not that great. I heard people talking bad about it before I even heard it, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And then I heard it, and I was like, ugh, yeah, it is kind of rough. And then you hear the one where the vocal track was removed, and you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. Now this guy is actually much easier to beat with Vergil than it is with Nero. Because Nero, it's harder to use the snatch ability to reach him quicker. With Vergil, you just warp instantly, and then you Beowulf Lunar Cycle him. So yeah, that part is super easy. And then you have this part where the game just screws with you, because he punches like immediately as you come out of the cutscene. Yeah, so if you're not paying attention right there, he will get you. And this part with Nero is super annoying, because he just kind of... he runs quicker, so it's like, as you're trying to put damage on him, he just runs away like this. And when you're not playing as Vergil, it's hard to reach him, especially when he does that. Come on. Yeah, you can't even really... I don't even know if you can knock him out when he's in that, like, when he goes up to the Savior at the very end. You basically have to knock him down as he's going to it. And as you saw there, I was warping around everywhere trying to reach him. And it just wasn't happening. Yeah, you have to, like... there we go. Got him. You have to, like, really hope he's just gonna stand still. Ooh! Oh, look at that. Now that's what you call damage there. Yeah, actually, I think I have the achievement for getting an S rank on this fight already. You can actually break him out of that before he does it again. But I think there's certain times where he just breaks through regardless. Oh, he's in Devil Trigger now. You die already? Now you're just milking him. Yeah. Just spilled out a bunch of red orbs. Yeah, it is kind of interesting playing through as the corrupted Vergil skin. So if you want to think about this after DMC3, which it's not, because it can't be, because he's in just his regular form. Yeah, if it was after DMC3, he would have to be in the corrupted Vergil form. Alright, now we have switched sides to Dante. But since it's Vergil's playthrough, it's just switch to Vergil. So nothing changes. Yeah, if you played through the game the first time with Vergil, this game would make absolutely no sense. You just go through with pretty much not having any cinematics. Which I guess would make sense when you think about it, because Vergil wasn't involved with the story at all. But you'll still be fighting the boss fights that Nero and Dante fight, so those would kind of be jarring. I guess if you're just playing through to play the game and you don't care about the story, it doesn't really affect you too much. Judgment cut there. Yeah, he's definitely fun to play, but I like Nero better still. Because it does definitely feel like this game was built for Nero. Like when you play DMC 1 through 3, the game was clearly built for Dante. So when you come through with any other character, it kind of feels like the game's not at its full potential. I do like the summon swords, though. I think they're faster in this one than they were in DMC3. I know they're definitely faster than the summon swords in the DMC reboot. So you can play as Vergil in that one, too. And he is a lot slower, realistically. Although a lot of the moves were carried over, like this one. Oh, nope, hold up. Being hit here. Oh my god, that thing's annoying. Yeah, you're all just gonna die. But this one right here, where he does the spin up and then the smack down, that was when you're doing the angel side of Vergil. And that was really fun. There were a lot of gameplay elements, like this one here, like warping with the swords. That actually was never... Vergil could never do that. So that was one thing that the DMC reboot actually added, which is why I didn't really like playing as Vergil that much in DMC 3, because he was a lot slower. But now you have the ability to warp to enemies. And it happens instantaneously too, especially if you shoot them with a sword beforehand, then you can warp to them in an instant. So yeah, that was added in the reboot. So there were a lot of things they carried over that actually enhanced the special edition. Which is probably something that Capcom never would have thought about, which is why they wanted to do the reboot in the first place. Because they basically said they wanted to like revitalize the series and bring in a new developer to kind of get it from a new perspective. They certainly did. So that's why some of the gameplay and visual elements carried over. Like, if you look at Devil May Cry 1 through 4, and then you look at Devil May Cry 5, you can tell there's a lot of influence from the reboot in there. Just from the demo alone, where it's like, the environment looks very DMC reboot-ish. And the enemies are very, like, the new little insect creatures that crawl around, they look very demon-like they did in the reboot. That was one thing about the reboot, is that the demons, they all looked like creepy and disgusting. Which, they're demons, so they're kind of supposed to. Whereas in this one you have like, you have a lizard, you have these ice guys that go around. The scarecrows are pretty cool, because they're very like demonic looking. But yeah, you definitely had a lot of characters in this one that were just kind of like, they didn't tell you they were demons, you wouldn't know. Like the lizards just look like something out of Soul Calibur. I mean, granted, those were in the first DMC game, too. So were the Frost Demons. Yeah, things like the Scissor Demon, the Scythe Demons, those all look creepy looking. Like, DMC 3 had really good demon designs in that one, too. Whoa! Now that I think about it, DMC 1 kind of fell in the same area that DMC 4 does, where the demon characters don't really look that demonic. Aside from Mundus and Nello Angela, they all just kind of look standard. I mean, the giant spider, he looks pretty creepy. Then you have, like, the bird, which I think that bird is one of V's pets. I know people were saying that in the comments, but I don't think... It looks like that's one of his pets. He has, like, a panther, he has the bird, and then he has... I think he's called Phantom. Or no, Phantom's the spider, I think. I don't know what the bird's called. It's been a while since I've played DMC 1. Yeah, I don't know what the panther... Oh, yeah, no, I know what the panther is. The panther is the little, There's really annoying enemies in DMC 1, where they have that core in the middle, and you have to, like... You have to hit the panther enough times to reveal the core. So yeah, it seems like he's summoning demons from DMC 1. I don't know what that big monster is. I think that one's new. That's when he activates his devil trigger. A big monster comes like crashing out of the sky like a meteor. It actually changes depending on what stage you're on. Because there are some times where he'll come like out of the ground, other times he'll smash through a brick wall. Sometimes he'll come down like a meteor. So I guess it just must depend on what mission you're on. Which is kind of cool. Kind of cool element there. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing as V. Although he seems like he's going to fall into the same category as Vergil for me, where I'm going to play as Nero the most, I'm going to play as Dante the second most, and then V is probably going to be the least played like it is with Vergil here. Really the main reason I'm playing through this with Vergil is just to get the Super Vergil, so that way I can do the Bloody Palace without having to pull my hair out. I'm going to heal before this hits me. That Bloody Palace is just ridiculous. The easiest one by far is Dante in the Bloody Palace, because he has the... If you go into Super Dante, you have the Pandora's box that, like, when you press B, you, in Gunslinger mode, you turn into like a ship or something. Yeah, that thing is super easy, because you just fly around and you keep pressing B, and you have infinite missiles. So you can just keep pressing B and it fires like 20 missiles at a time. and it just destroys everything on the map in like 2 seconds. So you just go through all 101 floors just firing that thing off. Not so easy with Super Nero. Super Nero you mostly have to fight normally, because your Devil Trigger doesn't heal you in Super Devil Trigger. So it's like, you're basically just fighting. You get the extra damage from Devil Trigger, and you get a fully maxed out Exceed, which is nice, because you do extra damage on that too. And it's always maxed, you don't even have to use Exceed or anything. You just always have it. So yeah, that's nice, but not being able to just spam the missiles definitely makes it a little harder. And then with Vergil, you can just spam this one here, the Rapid Cut, or Rapid Slash, whatever you call it. And he's practically invincible while he's using it. And then not just that, you can use Judgment Cut End, which just like grabs everyone on the stage and probably kills them instantly when you're in Super Vergil. So yeah, you definitely have more options with those characters. I don't even know how you're supposed to do it with Lady and Trish, because you actually can't get their super forms. Which is kind of weird. You'd think they would. 'Cause it's like, it really wouldn't make it, because Trish just has a standard Devil Trigger, where she goes into like an electrified mode. And then Lady, she doesn't have a Devil Trigger, she just throws a bunch of grenades out. But basically, Lady's Devil Trigger would just be always in that form for a Super Lady, and then, or a Super Trish. And then for a Lady's form, you would just give her infinite grenades. Which sounds kind of broken, but when you think about Dante having infinite missiles and Nero having infinite Exceed gauge, it's really not that broken in comparison. So it's like, it just kind of falls in line with the rest of the super characters. Yeah, it's definitely going to make the Bloody Palace harder, because I really don't like the Bloody Palace that much. I like it if you're just using it as like a scoreboard, like, oh, I made it to the 80th floor today. Yeah, when you're trying to make it all the way through and get the achievement, it's really frustrating. So it just adds that layer of like, I better not lose this. Which happened with me with Nero. I got to the, I think the 90th floor and I lost. That's too far in to lose. You're just frustrated at that point. Which, I tried to do it on Turbo as well, which probably caused a lot of problems as well for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and try to complete it, or not really try to complete it with Vergil, because he's going to be much, much easier with the rapid slash. Oop, wrong one. But yeah, I'm just going to turn it on Turbo mode and go back with Super Vergil and do it that way. It's just kind of weird. They did Super Nero, Super Dante, Super Vergil, but no Super Lady and Super Trish. I just don't get it. It's not like it would have added much extra to add those in. And if you want to use the excuse that Lady's a human, so she wouldn't have a super form, Trish is full demon, so she should absolutely have a super form, because she already has a Devil Trigger. Yeah, I don't know. Odd choice, in my opinion. There we go. Alright. Okay, I heard it explode before it came back. So I didn't know if that was supposed to happen or not. Grand Album Bridge.
Show me your motivation.
Yeah, it's kind of odd they call it the concentration gauge, not the motivation gauge. I think that'd make more sense, given that it's Vergil. Like, all he talks about is motivation and power. That's why, I don't know where they're going with the story in DMC5, but fan theories for the last, because when you think about it, DMC4 came out in 2008. So it's like, that's 11 years, or almost 11 years, because it didn't come out exactly 11 years ago. It's like 10 years and a few months or something. But yeah, pretty much 11 years to figure out what kind of story was set up in this one. Because you had two big moments where, in DMC4 you had, when he gets Yamato for the first time, Nero does, and he goes into that Devil Trigger form that looks a lot like Vergil's Devil Trigger behind him. Which people have said maybe that's just because it does look slightly different. So they're saying maybe it's just the devil arm is what changes his form. Like how in DMC 3, the Devil Trigger changes depending on what weapon you're using. So they're saying maybe Vergil's devil arm is just warping what Nero's Devil Trigger looks like. But then later in the game, when Sanctus grabs onto Nero, and he's talking to Dante, he's like, I originally wanted to bring you into the Savior, but I guess a descendant of Sparta will do, or something like that. So it makes it seem like Nero's bloodline isn't just due to the fact that he has a demon arm that could be related to Vergil in some way. But it seems like he's a legitimate bloodline source. Because they also posted one of those like pre-pictures where they were talking about like they posted like Lady and they said species human and Trish species demon, Dante species hybrid, and then you had for Nero it said species but it said hybrid with a question mark. So it's like, oh, okay, what are you hinting at here? Yeah, I'm definitely very interested to see how they handle the story. Because it is kind of odd to have his battle theme, and it's definitely Nero's battle theme, because V's is called... Damn, what is V's battle theme called? I'm trying to think of it. I know Dante's is called Subhuman. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't want it bouncing around in my head. Oh, it's called Crimson Cloud. So yeah, for V, it's Crimson Cloud. For Dante, it's Subhuman. And then for Nero, it's called Devil Trigger. So it's like... It's odd that in the demos we've been shown, he has the new metal arm. Because obviously he doesn't have that arm anymore. So it's like, it's weird that they would take away his arm, and so far what we've seen of the game, he can't go into Devil Trigger form, so it's odd that they would pick the theme song Devil Trigger. Because I'd assumed going in, which is probably still going to be the case, is that this game's going to show him, like, reaching his... You know, I'm going to grab that holy water now, because I've already used a couple. Get a free one here. But we've already seen him go into a pseudo Devil Trigger form in this game, where he just has, like... Oh, no, I already got it. Never mind. But he has, like, a demon floating behind him. But what I had assumed, and probably still is the case, is that this game's going to show him fully merged with the demon. Because it's like, in this one, he doesn't really... He technically has a Devil Trigger, but he doesn't really have one, because it's like... It's just a demon floating behind him. So whether that's his Devil Trigger, or that was just Vergil's Devil Trigger, and it was just manifested through Yamato. But who knows? I guess we'll find out in this upcoming game. Oh, no. Stay away. Yeah, I definitely want to experience the story. It's gonna be pretty crazy. No matter what happens, I'm gonna like it. I'm just pre-choosing to like the game already. From what I've seen in the demo, I'm already hooked in the gameplay. And I can't wait to use all the other double breakers. Hello. Yes, I cannot wait for DMC 5 either. I am a huge DMC fan ever since the... It's funny, because the reboot divided a lot of people, but I actually got into the main series because of the reboot. So it's like, before that, I'd only casually played DMC 4, and then the reboot came out, and I went out and bought a PS2, I bought DMC 1 through 3, I beat all of them on Dante Must Die, and then I played through 4 again, all the way through Dante Must Die as well. And then they came out with the HD collection, I bought that one too. They came out with DMC 4 Definitive Edition, bought that one as well. Or DMC 4 Special Edition, actually. Which originally, I guess they had planned to do the Special Edition like a year or two after DMC 4. But I guess they never got around to it. Yeah, DMC 3 would be a good starting point, because canonically it's the first game. But for me, starting in 4, it was definitely a very interesting gameplay, because I thought Nero was the main character. Because I literally had no knowledge of DMC at all. All I saw was, I guess in Game Informers, I think I read where it was like, Devil May Cry is back and something about Dante, but then I picked up the game and I was like, oh, I guess Nero's the main character. It especially doesn't help with that opening where Dante kills the Sanctus, or, quote, kills him. Oh, DMC2 is horrible. DMC2 is absolutely the worst game in the series. It's so bad that Capcom has pretty much disowned it. They don't ever even admit. They did to DMC2 what they did to, what is that other thing? They pushed DMC2 so far into the future. Oh, that's what it was, the Fast and Furious series. Like, people, I guess, didn't like Tokyo Drift that much, so they pushed Tokyo Drift to, like, so far in the future that it took until, like, the 7th movie to catch up to it. But that's what they did to DMC2, because people hated DMC2 so much that none of that was canon forever. I sure hope so. 'Cause, I mean, it is, when you think about lottery odds, it's like 1 in a trillion to win the lottery. But if it gets to 100, then that's a 1 in 100 chance of getting a game. So your odds are statistically much better. Instead of rolling a trillion-sided die, you roll a 100-sided die. Yeah, I've streamed very, like, briefly in the past. So I've got, like, I think I got, like, 33 or so followers from doing that. But I didn't stream that often. And then I took, like, a 2-year break and never came back. So yeah, I'm just trying to get back into it now. Realistically, YouTube, I tried streaming on YouTube, but they don't have a built-in app for it. So I tried, because I know the PS4 and the Xbox, they have a built-in Twitch app, which is what I'm using right now. Yeah, I have a Elgato that is supposed to be able to stream, which I have, like, 2 years ago I streamed through it, and it worked just fine. Now I tried doing it, and the audio comes through, and my commentary comes through, but then the gameplay doesn't come through. So it's like, it's just a green screen. And I looked up how to do that, and I have no clue. $40 followers, that's a bit extreme. It's a bit early. Big investment for me. It is a free game, however, so I feel like I could reach it. There's no real timestamp on it. It's not like I'm gonna, after a week, cut it off and say, nope, no one gets it. It's like whenever I hit it, that's when the copy's given out. So yeah, it can happen in a week, a month. You'll get a free copy if you get picked. Not making any false promises. Oh no. Yeah, I'm basically just gonna randomize it. I'm just gonna pick someone at random. Now the people, I don't know how to do it exactly, because I've had, I think, 33 followers for like 2 years, but I've just not used Twitch at all. So it's not like I've been streaming off and on. It was like, no, I streamed like 2 years ago and then never came back. So it's not like I've been like consistently streaming in that time, which my follower count would probably be higher if I did that. So this is just a way to kind of jump back in and then, you know, give somebody a free copy of a game. A very sought-after game, too. And I'm going to continue it into the DMC... Oh my god, I need to heal myself. I'm going to continue it into the DMC5 stream, because I'm going to be doing DMC5 as well. And same thing applies there. I'll still be having that kind of thing. So it's like, even in future streams, until it hits that number, that's when I'll do it. Give it out. In 4 years. No. I don't think it'll take 4 years. It's climbing steadily. Maybe a week or so. It's mostly just due to my inactivity, because I hadn't streamed at all. So it's like, I had 33 already, and I've gotten like four or so in the past day. So it's climbing. It'll get there. And I'll probably do the same thing, where it's just like, once I reach that milestone, I'll do one beyond that too. Oop. It really is a win-win situation there. Oh no! It's gonna reset their health. Yeah, Twitch is kind of hard to start with because there's really no, like, YouTube has ads where you can go on Google AdSense, or no, Google AdWords, and you can run ads on that, but Twitch doesn't really have like a built-in way. Twitter does too. Twitter, like, you give them like $2 or whatever, and basically they run your ad until you get a follower, and then they charge you for it. So it's like, let's say they charge you like 60 cents a follower or something like that, which is really not bad when you think about the breakdown. If you had like 100 or so a week you wanted to drop on advertisement, you could build a following really quickly. So it's like if you just go to the Twitter ads and just start spending money on that, because I didn't really want to spend too much money on Twitter. I think I did like a $3 budget a day, and I did get like 100 or so followers at some point. I think it was like 2 weeks or so. So if you have a situation where it's like money's not an issue, you can just, oh my god, I did it again. You can just go on Twitter and just throw money at them, and they'll just build your following. It's one of those things, you pretty much need money to do it, or you get lucky, like PewDiePie. Aside from that, what the hell? I didn't even step. I wasn't even close to the door. Oh no, I stepped through the portal. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that happens. So it's like if you walk past the gate, it becomes a portal immediately. I thought that didn't happen until you left the stage. The soundtrack for DMC5, I think so. I like it so far. So far, the only thing I've seen in-game was, because I've only played the demo, so it's like you've seen the Goliath with an S. You've seen the Goliath boss theme. It's just a tongue twister there. And then you've seen Dante's Devil Trigger. So, or you haven't seen Dante's Devil Trigger, you've seen his battle theme, which is called Devil Trigger. It's kind of confusing there. It's also kind of confusing that none of the gameplay footage we've seen shows him using his Devil Trigger, yet his battle theme is called Devil Trigger. And from the first trailer, it's implied that he doesn't have it anymore, so maybe they're referring to what happens in the game? I don't know. Really excited to see that. No, it's just going to be, you don't have to be an active viewer. So basically just anyone who follows, you can just follow and leave if you want to. Not like holding a gun to you saying you have to stay here. So yeah, if you want to do that, then I'll still comb through the just the follower list. And I think I'll just do that from in the future too. Just do like just set milestones like that. Oh shit. Because it really is, instead of like, oh, no, ah. Lost my train of thought there. Sorry, getting attacked by demons. Yeah, you can definitely stay in view if you want. Not forcing you to. Oh. I hate these little sword guys. Oh, nope, stay away. Yeah, they're so much easier to break with the other characters. Dante especially, because you just charge up Ebony and Ivory. Oh, I think I already knocked that one out, so when he stops spinning, I'll go in. Yeah, so far I like the soundtrack for DMC5. Really, I like everything about it. I haven't seen anything that I don't like yet. I like V, I like his battle theme. Dante's theme is kind of bad, but as I mentioned earlier, they did a version where they removed the vocals, and it sounds a lot better. So yeah, most of the game's looking really good. Definitely very excited. Probably going to stream a ton in that one. So I don't think the Bloody Palace is coming right away, but they did in one of the trailers reveal at the end that the Bloody Palace is coming back too. So you can play the Bloody Palace as Dante, Nero, and V. And if there's any more characters on top of that, you could play as them too. Which I'd be surprised if they didn't, because as you've seen from the trailer, and obviously it's a Devil May Cry game, so you know Lady and Trish are going to be in there. And you see, I didn't make a single mistake in this cloud area, because I said at the beginning that I hated this level, but I've played it so many times I know which clouds to go through. So it's not that bad anymore. But yeah, given that Lady and Trish are going to be in the game, it would be kind of strange if you couldn't play as them. Especially given that the Special Edition included them as characters. And I think Trish, the only time you could play as her was in Devil May Cry 2, which no one played Devil May Cry 2. Only the loyalist of fans played that game. Ooh. Yeah, she did have a separate moveset to Dante, so there was that, but this is the one that really set her apart, where her moveset's completely unique. Oh, man. Yeah, those are kind of hard to dodge. I'm actually doing a lot of damage on her. Whoop. Jump away from that. Oh shit. Oh yeah, she's already golden, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, this mode is already hard enough as it is, and I'm not the best with Vergil, so it definitely adds a different layer to it. Nero's hands down the one that I'm the best with. And Vergil's like the one that I'm the worst with. I mean, maybe Lady. Maybe I'm worse with Lady, I don't know. Hers I only played on, I think, Devil Hunter, so I never really played on a much higher difficulty. Yeah, this difficulty setting for sure. See, she comes in very quick, and then I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm just gonna heal slightly because the fight's almost over. I don't think I'm gonna be hit that many times more. See, like, that's much easier to dodge with Nero than it is with him. The easiest to dodge with Dante, because Dante has access to not only a double jump, which Vergil doesn't, but he has access to Trickster as well, which is... I've gotten better about switching styles. I don't like it on the D-pad. I actually took it off the D-pad. I actually have the style switch on the triggers for Dante. And then I have the gun switch on the sticks. So you click the left stick and switches the gun. You click the right stick and it switches the sword. Which sounds a little odd, but I put, I think I put Swordmaster... Yeah, I think I put Swordmaster on the right trigger, and I put Trickster on the left trigger, because those are the ones that I'm constantly switching between. And it really helped on Dante Must Die, because I was constantly switching between those two. But Royal Guard and Gunslinger I almost never use, so those two I was just kind of, just left them as is. Really making some progress on this game here, actually. So I think I only got to mission 7 on the last stream. So I'm kind of doing about the same run here. By a couple of those. Yeah, as you can see, I have a massive stock of items, just because on all the other playthroughs, I never really needed items until I got to Dante Must Die, and then I absolutely needed items, so made the change and started finally using them after that mode. Alright, we are back to the castle. Yeah, all these sections with Dante, or I guess Vergil technically, because I'm not playing as Dante, well, you're just Vergil all the way through. But all the sections that had Dante in, they're just, aside from the one with Burial, the opening section, all of them just become so much more annoying. Like, the forest obviously has that poison cloud that you have to go through, and that's frustrating as hell. And then you get to the second part of the forest, where now I have to fight this stupid little octopus that comes up every now and then. And it makes it very frustrating, because if he grabs you, he takes you into, like, this I don't know if it's inside of his stomach. He takes you into like this different area where you have to fight a bunch of demons to get out of. So I don't know if the implication is that you're in his stomach or what that is, but it's very annoying either way. And you can kill him if you do enough damage quickly, but it's almost not worth it. You almost just need to keep dodging. Like that one there was super close. Yeah, you have the mist on the first half, and then you have the what do you call it? This little octopus thing. You have him on the second half, and then for the area with the frog, I can't remember his name right now. Called I'll think of this. I'll get it. Man, what's his name? Because the snake is Echidna. That's how you pronounce that. And then fire demon is Burial. It's not Balrog, but it's close to that. It's close to Balrog. Balrog the frog. It's not it, though. What was his name? It's gonna bug me if I can't remember. I just call him the frog demon. I don't even... Just call him the Wednesday dude. Oh, oh. Get away from that. It's the first time I've perfectly dodged those. It's not easy. Oh, nope, get away. Oh man, they are not letting up. This guy is so annoying. I hate the Faust demon leader. I don't even know what he's called. He's like Faust Boss or something like that. So annoying to fight. But this puppet thing is just so annoying. I think he's just called Faust Hat, actually. Now that I think about it, I think his name is Faust Hat. Because he's the only one wearing a hat. Oh, you know what? That hat he's wearing is actually the one that, I can't believe I've never noticed that. The hat he's wearing is the one that Dante's wearing in DMC 5. He's using the Faust weapon. I mean, the name is obviously, the thing's called Faust Hat, I think, as the weapon. So, clearly it's from DMC 4. Oh, man. Whew. Oh, now we got Blitz to deal with, too. I hate this demon so much. Just does not hold still. Then I've got these annoying little octopi to deal with. I'm just gonna kill them. I'm gonna deal with those all day. Once I get an opportunity, I'm going in. There we go. One's down. Oh my god. Get off. I think there's two of those little octopi in this section here. Oh damn, timed that wrong. I'm gonna heal just in case. Yeah, this guy's not too bad to kill. Especially if you activate Devil Trigger like this. You just keep blasting him. And now it's a fight for survival. Now all you have to do is just hold out. If you wait long enough, he'll just die. He'll just burn himself out. But it's definitely recommended to keep shooting him still, just so you can quickly burn him down to that kill stage. Oh my god, he almost did it. He has this thing where he charges you with his horn, and if he catches you, it does an insta-kill. I don't think it's technically an insta-kill, but it's close to it, because it does an immense amount of damage. Boy, I've been streaming for 2 hours now. Bit of a while there. Yeah, I'm used to doing YouTube videos where you just record for like 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes shorter, and then cut that down. Twitch is definitely different. There's no editing. It's just you play and then you upload. Which I don't make as many mistakes as I had assumed I would. Because when I record for YouTube, there's more of a structure to it, so it's like... It seems like the errors are more prevalent. On Twitch, there's really no like preset thing you have to do. Whereas with YouTube, like you have an intro, you're gonna talk about what you're doing, so you have a chance to screw up there. Yeah, it doesn't seem to happen as much on Twitch. I was expecting more. I was expecting to get out here and just mess up like every other word. Let's just be the environment. Oh no! I landed right in the mouth. Come on. This section again. See, this is why I feel like it's not his stomach, because this doesn't look like the inside of a creature. There's paved stones and everything in here. That was a loud Facebook message. God, and there's another one. Sections are so annoying. Oh my god, I hate these little sword guys so much. I guess what are these two doing over here? They're like dancing in a circle. See, I got one of them, but I don't think I got both of them, so I'm just gonna try to kill them quickly. Oh no! Oh, oh. Oh man, this is just... That was stupid. I need to heal myself. Just gonna do a... What is that, Skyfall? I don't know what that move's called. I think it's like Meteor or something like that. Oh my god, I am like... I don't know how I'm not dead with that health bar. These enemies just suck. I hate fighting these guys. I think you have to just sit back and spam the whole time. Yeah, it's not the combo hack and slash game that I'm used to. It's just standing back and shooting swords at them. Oh, that was going to be, I think, an overcharged one, too. Tried using Dimension Cut on him. That didn't work. Man, I'm using up so many healing items here. I don't like this. Oh my god, will you stop? He just blocked all of it. Shouldn't be able to block that. It's Yamato. Yamato's like, cuts through anything. Trying to do the overcharged version of that. There we go. As I mentioned in one of the previous streams, if you time it just right, it'll do a powered up version. Not doing it exactly. Nope, still not it. The fact that they dance around like that just makes it so much more annoying. Like they won't hold still. I'm just gonna stand here and keep shooting. Alright, that's the end of that. What a fun section. I think there's hidden orbs up here. There's hidden orbs somewhere in here. I'm not in this room often when I'm not playing on Dante Must Die. This is the room you go to when you're doing poorly. And I don't... Yeah, it's this one there. Okay. Yeah, this is the room you go to when you're not doing so well. So on non-Dante Must Die difficulties, I usually don't end up there. But on this mode, I sure do. Alright, oh boy. I so love this forest section. Now I'm having to avoid two of these guys on the ground? Jesus. Alright, that's it. Just breaking through. Alright, I killed one of the octopi. Let's just keep going. Kill the other one. There we go. The other one's dead. Oh my god, there's three of them! Ridiculous. Try to kill this one too. There we go. Okay, now I should be done with all of... Oh my god, there's four of them. Okay, that should be the end of it. Because I don't think they infinitely spawn. I think once you kill the ones that are on the stage, they don't come back anymore. So it's not like you have to keep killing them and coming back. Once they're gone, they're gone. Ooh, nope. Damn, that one's so hard to avoid when he does that. With Dante, you can just trickster out of the way, and with with Nero, you can just double jump at least. Don't have those luxuries with Vergil. Alright. So that worked out there. Alright. I should be nearing the end of this stage. But I think I'm almost 100% positive with how many times I've played this game. I think what happens is when you walk through the cave, the waterfall comes down, and then the cutscene ends, and then it just does the normally gunshots on screen, but then it does the slices on screen because you're playing as Vergil. I also think I'm gonna update because I put auto on the quality when I was doing the Twitch streaming, and it said that basically it's like yeah, we're gonna look at your internet speed and then we'll give you the quality we think we should use, and they just completely maxed it out. So I'm doing it at 40 megabytes per second, and it can go up to, the app itself can only go to 6.5 megabytes per second. So what I think I'm gonna do is just put it at 5 on the next one and see how much different it looks. Because the quality is already good as is. It's at 1080p with 4 megabytes upload speed. So it's already good, but maybe 5,000 would be better. Because even though it recommended me to use the maxed out setting, I don't want to go all the way to the top just in case. Like, I don't want screen tearing or anything like that. I don't know how that works actually, because it seems like there's always some level of screen tearing when you stream. It's not like YouTube where it just like goes straight to a file and then you upload that. Seems like there's always the ability to have the screen tear where it's just inherent in streaming. So yeah, we'll see. I'll do the next one at 5,000 kilobytes, or just 5 megabytes to make it sound easier. Yeah, I'll do the next one at 5, and then by the time DMC5 comes out, I'll have all these streaming things figured out. That's the main reason for coming back in DMC4 first, because DMC5 is where most of my streams are going to end up. So it's better to get back into the game now in DMC4, and then just kind of work my way up. But yeah, anyway, that'll probably be the end of this one. I've been going for 143 minutes, my stream tells me, so a little over 2 hours. So yeah, I'll be back probably tomorrow or later today. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely tomorrow, if not today. And then, as DMC5 gets closer, I'll play that instead. I'll probably be done by that time with all the DMC4 stuff. And I also have like these. There's these card tournaments for DBS on Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be playing that. But then afterwards, I'll be able to stream after that. So yeah, probably Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, I'll be free to stream. But yeah, anyway, go ahead and end the stream now. Go ahead and close it out, so bear with me here as we exit into the unknown.